Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So, I realized that Blender had actually changed over and I had a few videos extra, so I had those on the last days, but this is the first 4.4. So, we're going to be delving into the newest software. It's available to download from Blender. So all of the tutorials from now on, apart from a few of them, will all be in 4.4. So what I did was actually I made some tutorials over the next year for 4.3 as well. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing kind of a sunny scene, kind of like a walkway kind of pool thing. Because it's summer, it's beautifully sunny outside. And we're going to see what we can make. So I'm going to start off with the cube. Let me see. I'm going to make sure I got these. Oh, hold on. If you want these screencasting keys, it's preferences. And then we're going to go to, where did I put it? Add-ons, and then it should be screen. Oops, what did I do? Screen? Why is there no screencasting keys? Oh, that's interesting. Let's try extensions. Yeah, allow access. Oh, here we go. Right, okay. Let's install these. So now we should have screencasting keys. So just gonna go ahead and turn those on. Make them a little bit bigger for you guys. Font size big. Possibly pull that in a little bit. Line thickness upwards, and of course we want mouse size as well, so you guys can see that. And then I will place the shadow and the background onto there as well, although the background is a little bit too big. Maybe we'll just do it with the shadow. Interesting. It's a really big background for such a little mouse. Let's try line thickness, see if that helps. No. Okay, I think I got it. Right. So now I've got all this. Big font size. Yeah. Okay, so after this setup, I should have everything. So we'll start with the cube right here. I'm gonna go into edit mode now. This cube we're gonna use it on two planes actually. So just press G, bring it up. This is going to be the roof that we'll make first. Scale it down. And then we will go and scale it across just a little bit. And then we're going to just go with Control R. Just make this loop cut right here. Press G, bring it across. And we're just going to go ahead and press G, just bring it forward just slightly. And we're going to start making a curve on this. So 7. On your number pad, Control R, make another cut, and then we could go with, bring this back a little bit, just around this corner. We could go Control R again, just press G, bring it up, Control R again, just smooth this off a little bit. So we've got this kind of bay thing going on. Take this one, we'll just smooth this one off a little bit, just on this side. And then for this one right here, we can just box select this and just press G, bring it over. But you notice that we've not got the points at the bottom. So what we're going to do to solve that, press X-ray just up here, reselect with box selects, just click and then drag. Press G, bring it up. And then we can do another loop cut just here, Control R, bring that in. And then at the base here, we can bring this up again. And Control R. Just kind of bring that little curve inwards a little bit. So with some of these, we could also bring them across. Just make that curve a little bit sharper. Make this curve a little bit pointed. Just there, just... I'm going off a reference image here that I drew. Trying to get the angles correct on this. So this would be the roof. Go to object mode. Just click to smooth it out a little bit, and then we're going to go Shift D, bring it down, scale it upwards just a little bit. Just bring it back down again if that happens to you. And then what we're going to do on this part, go to edit mode. We'll come off the X-ray. Go to faces and select all the faces on top. Press E for extrude. Keep it where it is. Scale it inwards. And then we're going to go E for extrude and just bring it down. So at this point we have the walkway that we're going to put in just here. So we have the roof, the walkway, and we want a little bit of green foliage on this side. So what we're going to do, place your camera just about here. So we can go with add, or if you've already got a camera to your scene, we can go align view, camera to view. Just bring this down just slightly. I'm going to make a secondary little thing here. So what you'll notice now is we've got this kind of clipped side right here. So if we click on this, go to the edit mode. Come on. There we go. Right, click on this face here. Press shift. Click on this face here and just press S. And just scale them out just a little bit. It's just an intercepting vertice. Alright, so at this point we want to put some water in here, and also we want to put some plants around the outside, and we want another little surface right there. So what we're going to do, I'm thinking, should we do the plants or the water first? I think we should do the plants first and then fill it with water. So you've got your camera right here. I kind of want to move this part because it just doesn't kind of, I'm just a bit like, does this make sense? Okay, let's go with the plants to begin with. So if we go to add, let's see, curve. We should have trees. If trees aren't enabled, go to edit, preferences. I think I'm going to have to set everything back up for this one because it's a new program, technically. So if we go to tree, we should have trees. There we go. Sampling tree gen. Install. We're going to go off this one, and then we will go to add. Curve. Sampling tree gen. Now, what you want to do with this, I'm presuming that it's like the prior version of this software. The tree sampling generation, don't click anywhere else on the screen, because this little box right here that pops up will not reappear if you click anywhere else. So for this one we're going to go to low present, and we could go with some beeches, some willows, but this is more of a kind of tropical scene, so we could go with like a small pine or something. We could go with something like this, but we kind of want a bush, so we're going to go with maple, Japanese maple. So with this one, you're going to want to go down to leaves, show leaves. So the plants that I'm currently looking at are just one leaf. So with the Japanese maple, it automatically loads in 5 tiered leaves. So what you want to do, take this down to 1 tier leaf right here, just up on the side here, and also you want to increase the leaves on the branches. So we could do leaf scale as well, make them a little bit more bushier. So with this as well, we could also go into the shading tab and we could make them look a little bit more detailed, a little bit more grade in them. But at the moment we're going to leave them the way that they are. I think that would be good for a bush for the side actually. So when you click these, click the leaves, click the tree itself, scale it down, just go G, put this at the side, G to bring it up. Bring it across if you'd like. Or you could offset this just slightly so that it's only just coming into the water. So with this, we can take the tree in the middle. We can go to the materials tab, which is just here at the side. We can go new. I think I need to replace a fan in my computer. I can hear something going and it's kind of bothering me. Like, it's literally right next to me and I can hear everything. So we're going to go with the material for the tree. So just name this material tree. And then we'll darken this one off. The leaves themselves, what you want to do is go to new. You want to look at sheen and emission on this one actually. You can do spectacular as well as subsurface. So with this, what you want to do, instead of just making the leaves green, you kind of want them to have this kind of see-through look to them as well, so they've got a little bit more detail. So make them kind of like a bright green, but we can turn the roughness up just a little bit. So we're actually going to go back into this on the shadings tab. So it doesn't have to be perfect right now. So we'll just call this leaf green. So when you go to the render, you should see this. So you've kind of got this dark back, you've got this green. Now, at this point, we're supposed to be in cycles. We're not. We're in Eevee. So come to your render tab right here, change the cycles, and you should have this. Now, we don't have any light in this scene apart from this one at the top, which isn't doing very much for us. So we're just going to press delete. And we're going to add... let's see, go down to lights and we'll add sun. Press G, bring it across. Press G, move it upwards. Now, usually I move it to the corner of the screen because the older versions of Blender, for some reason, you put the light where it's sat, and then the light would put the rays in respect to where the light was, if that makes any sense. Nowadays, you can put the light wherever you want and just like point it where it's supposed to be, and it's just a very kind of weird thing that they did. So, so it's R, so that you can rotate it. Central scroll wheel, so that you can get onto the correct axes. Yeah, I don't know why Blender changed it, but they did. And for some reason it was quite an older version actually. So they've been doing this for quite some time. It's not a new thing, but it just always surprises me. I think I'm just used to doing things other ways. Right, so we're gonna put some more bushes, some more trees down. Just put some little bushes around the outside, and then some big bushes, so that we've got this kind of difference in shape. And also rotate them a little bit, so that they're not copying the same pattern. So you've got that difference between each bush. We got some into clipping stuff there. Yeah, let's go Shift D. Just bring a couple of these across. Different heights. Might take you a while to do this one, but once we've got all of this in the way, we can also change some of the materials to make them look even better. And if you wanted to, you could select all three, bring them across. I just kind of position them along the sides. And as well, what you could do, you can make other trees, other branches, other things to do this with. I'm just going to rotate this. Then take this one and just bring this down a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect to begin with. You could just edit this willy-nilly, as you please. Just rotate these so that they fit a little bit more. Whoa. Okay. I think we're nearly done with this one. Okay, so we'll just get rid of this. So when we've done that, we've kind of got this basic kind of bushy tree look. So we can mess around with the leaves here a little bit on the materials tab. Subsurface, you can turn that up a little bit if you wanted to. My computer's being a bit slow at the minute. Oh, we're not responding. Brilliant. Great. This is a problem that I have sometimes. It's like people will come into the comments section and they'll say like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried doing this way? And some of the comments are helpful, and then some of the comments are just a bit like, yeah, I did try that with my computer, but as you can see, my computer just decides to freeze. So yeah, we're well into the freeze zone right now. Yeah. This is why sometimes I do things a little bit differently. Let's mess around with the IOR level. Transmission, coat. Let's try coat. Make those a little bit greener. I'm also going to take this light right here that we have in my photo that I have right here. It's kind of a yellowy orange. Just going to take the yellow, orange, just kind of make it a little bit more natural looking, and also the leaves aren't this green, so I'm just going to pull that as well. Maybe make that a little bit brighter. Just about there. Okay, so this roof as well, just bring this down. Oops. Make sure that they're on top of one another. That they sit relatively close. You want them both in the image. So we're just going to go G, just bring this forward just a little bit so that we can see a little bit more of the walkway. Just going to rotate this round. Just about there. Okay, so with this other side, we're going to put some glass. So this is going to be a building on one side. So I think same size of glass all the way around. So let's make this uniform, and then we'll build the building around the glass. So we'll go with we can either go plane or cube. I'm generally going to go plane, just to kind of experiment with the plane a little bit. Rotate 90. Press G, bring it up. Now what you want to do with this is slim it down and then scale up. So press G, bring it over here. So now you notice that the window is actually the wrong angle for where we need it to be. So what we're going to have to do is change the window around a little bit. So just press R and just rotate. And then just bring it back slightly so that it's uniform. And then we can do this all the way across the sides here. So we go Shift D to duplicate that out. Press G, bring it back, and we'll put some filler in the middle. So that will be the building. The building's pillars. Just bring this back. That's about right there. Shift D. So go G, bring it over. Just rotate this so all your pieces sit roughly where you need them to be. You can change them afterwards if they don't look correct. So what I'm going to do with these three pieces right here is going to add materials to them. So this first one, we're going to go ahead, add the material, new, and we'll change this one to glass. This project's kind of a trusted process, really. So we're going to go ahead and select, instead of principal BSDF, we're going to go with glass BSDF. Just render that out, see how this looks. Now that's an interesting thing, because I didn't expect it to do that. So the last version of Blender, if you just had an object and you duplicated it, the material from the first object would not go to the second object unless you told the computer to do so. But it seems on this program that the computer has done the exact opposite. So we'll work with it. We'll see what's going on with it. We're just going to turn down the roughness. It seems that way because we've kind of got this reflective stuff there, and I didn't ask it to be glass. So, unless that's a shadow, and it might actually be shadow. Maybe I'm just seeing something else. But we'll change all these to glass regardless. I'm pretty sure I saw shadow because I was seeing the reflection here, and then the shadow was coming this way. So yeah, kind of an optical thing going on right there. So you'll notice that these ones are probably not going to be seen by the camera, but if you wanted to pan the camera down and make an animation, you'll be able to see them in the back. So, let's go to the next part. So we can take all these 3 panels if you wanted to and place them at the front. They should roughly fit. So if they sit together here, they should roughly fit on this side, given the angles that we've been putting in. It's okay if they don't, because you can adjust this. So just get that one on the boundary, just there, and then you can rotate these ones, but I kind of want to move this down a little bit. G, bring that back. Yeah, so then you've only got this one panel that's not sitting correctly. So you're just going to rotate this one just slightly so that it sits and fits just there. Okay, so the next bit I would say just bring this one over. It's a bit of an odd angle, this one. Okay, so now we have this kind of stained glass kind of look right here. Now what we can do with this section right here, we can actually do an inside of the building kind of section. So we've got outside and then we've got the inside bit. So we can do add, cube, bring it across. And I know that we've got the ceiling right here that we could use in theory, but I want to do this as a separate entity on here. So we'll do a little pillar, scale it up, press G, bring it down, make sure that it fits on both top and bottom. Bring that over just slightly. So this, you can actually use this as a pillar between all of these little pieces right here. I'd shrink it down a little bit as needed. So we could do this one. We could do new material. We could go with, let's go pillar. Go black. Yep. Oh, sugar. Put an L instead of a K. There we go. Right, so pillar black. Change this to black, as stated. Then we'll go Shift D, bring it across, scale down. Just get that between the 2 pieces of glass right there. Scale it outwards. And then we're going to go Shift D, bring it over. And then do the same to the opposite side. So this one you might have to just scale it out just slightly. Shift D, bring it over. Press G, bring it forward. Just make sure it doesn't clip into the basin. Scale this outwards. Okay, so now we've kind of got the stained glass thing going on in the background. We can do some of the room right here. So all we need to do is add. We'll go with plane. Scale it out. Just bring it over to the side just here. Now it doesn't have to go all the way in because we don't want it to intersect with the basin right here. So we're just going to scale it down. Bring it forward. We can loop it around where the basin is, if you'd like to. So with that, if we go 7, go X-ray mode. So you see now that we have this gap. We don't want that gap. So just press G, bring it across as much as you can. And what we'll do is we'll go to edit mode. Just go Control R, scroll your wheel, central wheel a couple of times. And then we'll go point. And then we're just going to press G and just bring these points up towards the edge of the building right here. So that it follows the flow of the actual water itself. Now if you get to the point where it's intersecting right here, we can come back to that. We can put another loop cut right there. So it's uniform. Just make sure that this line doesn't go past. Because most of the scenery is not going to be seen. If it's just a picture at the side, no one's going to see the scenery. However, if it's an animation or whatever like that, people will be able to see where the floor is going to be. So you might want to move that out of the way. Let's see. I think that should be right. I think that's cool. I think that's alright. If there's anything that I need to edit later on, I can change that. So just come back to your object mode. We'll go to the basin. And what we will do, we'll go for a white with this one. So I'm just going to call it basin. Also, we're going to change the colour of the background here as well to a nice blue. I think I want some texturing on the basin actually. So if you go to the shading tab right up here, we can go to add a noise texture. We can go to colour, base colour. So what it's going to do is make this kind of wavy kind of tone. So it's going to be just for the bottom, but for the top one we will change the actual texture. So let's go with colour ramp. So now we've kind of got this grey kind of white tone to it. I'm just going to scale this up a little bit so it looks like stones. I'm going to go with a nice little shade of kind of a lighter orange. And then we're going to go with kind of a more of a red shade. Just to build that up a little bit. So at this point we want to add bump texture in. So I'll just go for bump, put this in the middle. I believe when it loads in, there we go. Right, so now we've got all this shine to it, so we want to take the shine off. So we're going to pull up the roughness. So we've now got this nice little basin going on. The IOR, we could just pull that down just a little bit so it's a little bit more rougher. I'm just going to pull this black up a little bit. And maybe that red. So now we've got this nice little pattern to our basin. So the next thing that we want to do, this one shouldn't be the basin texture. We're going to go to the materials. We're going to change this out and we're going to go for, let's make a new one actually. Let's go plus. This new one, and we'll go for wood. So right here we want to assign this to wood. We're going to go to edit mode, press A, click assign, and then we'll go to regular mode. Now this one, we're going to have wood coming across it, so we want to add, and we're going to go with brick texture, because it's got the same texture as wooden paneling. And you should have something like this. So now we can scale this upwards a little bit, we can scale this downwards a little bit, depending on how you'd like it. If you want the boards going the other way, mapping texture is great for that. Let's go brick width. So we've kind of got these boards coming across. Let's try mapping actually. Last time mapping didn't work very well for me, but let's go vector to vector. Yeah. Vector to color 1. Scale. Okay. So let's go scale that downwards a little bit. We want some rotation. X isn't going to work. Yeah, this was a problem that I had last time. It just didn't want to do anything for me. Let's see with that one. No. Okay, maybe remove the mapping. If you guys can get this to work and basically put them at a 90-degree angle, like, go for it. For some reason my one just it doesn't do it. I'm gonna have to figure out why mine's not doing that. Okay, so I'm probably doing something wrong. There's probably someone going like, this is how you do it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we'll work with this. Let's go with color ramp. We'll go in the middle. Let's go with a brown for this one. Kind of like a beechwood brown. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of holes in my knowledge with Blender, because when Blender started out, I started with a certain kind of lessons, you know what I mean? And then things changed within Blender, and then I did different things and I forgot things. So yeah, there's a few holes in my knowledge, so to speak. We're going to go with bump. Let's go with height. So we've got those little boards coming in. I'm just going to go ahead and reduce the black there. Maybe we can invert this if you wanted to. Also, you can make this less rough. So we'll go with this right here. Okay, so then we have the bump texture. So let's go add. Oh, sorry, not the bump texture, the noise texture. Where's my head at today? We'll go with color 1. Just give it a couple of seconds. So we can get this kind of texture coming out. Take down the roughness a little bit, I think. Actually, no, increase the roughness. Increasing the roughness looks a lot better. Just add some of that grain by adjusting just slightly. And then we'll leave the other one as is. I'm just going to increase the roughness just a little bit. And just increase the IOR. So let's make this a little bit lighter as well. We should have something like this. So eventually when we get the water in there, because of the reflections of the water, we should get a little bit more lighting. So the next bit I'd work on is the lighting. So we'll just go back to regular mode at the moment. We'll go to add, plane, and then we'll go to modifiers, and then we'll go ocean. So we shrink this down just a little bit. All we need is a little bit of a strip for the water anyway. So we just need maybe 1 or 3 across. Just scale that down. Press G so that it goes in. So we will clean this up once we finish doing this part, because this floor is going to need to be just a little bit higher than the water. Just about there. Press G, bring it across, and then we will increase these numbers just a little bit so that we've got the entire pool kind of full. Sorry, just adjusting. Okay. So now we should have something like this. And you'll notice that the water doesn't look like water. So to remedy this, we'll go to materials. Now you can go with glass if you want to on this. That's totally up to you. Just letting it go through so you can see what's going on. But there's not a lot of depth to it. So what I would suggest is maybe go to the principal BSDF that you had originally. Put the metallic up. Put the roughness down. And then the alpha, just slightly adjust it. Just bring it down. So now we have this nice little basin running through the bottom. So this basin right here, I think it's too thick, so I'm just going to scale this down just slightly and just bring it back up. So it's a little bit thinner. I think the depth was just a little bit too much. Okay, so this part right here on top, we're just going to go Shift D, duplicate it downwards. And then scale it down, but you want to scale it at the sides, so scale it so that it's kind of a thin kind of piece of metal. I'm just going to go scale it down, upwards a little bit, press G, bring it up. Not exactly the way that I wanted it to be, but okay, let's try this again. Scale D, it's blimmin' out, Shift D, bring it across. So it's just there. Edit mode. Go for these faces right here. Press G, bring it back. We just want this little barrier, this little border even, just to grace the outside of this building. So just press G, bring it back, just slightly. Now, if we go to X-ray mode, and we see the underside of this, we want to select all of the faces on the underside. So just, let's see, what can we do here? So if I just press A, select everything. Scale it upwards so that it goes all the way down. Press G, bring it down just slightly. I can scale it right there. So now we've got this little barrier going on just in front of the building. So with this particular one, I want a different texture. So we're going to go to the textures tab right here and just click basin. So now it kind of blends in a little bit. Let's go with align view. Align view to, oh. Right. Camera's aligned. So with the background right here, as I said, I want to change this to a nice bright blue. So we're just going to take this up a little bit. Change it to a slight blue. So this is the world settings. So now we've got this kind of overhang, we've got this nice little basin going on, we've got some glass. We're going to want some trees in the background, and we're going to want some more buildings in the background just to give it a little bit of depth. So with these glass panels right here, we can edit these again and just make them go all the way around. If there's a gap, where the glass panels won't go, Shift E to duplicate, by the way, just place a pillar there. It's pretty, it's kind of like a Disney go away green. Just put another object there. I find that's quite interesting, actually, the way that Disney parks work sometimes, because they've got everything smaller at the top. Have you ever noticed? You ever been? Yeah, the buildings are regular sized at the bottom, and they get smaller. So yeah, use Disney's trick here and put a kind of go away green in there, so to speak, quote unquote. I hope I can mention that. This is kind of thing that you find out when you do a lot of architecture, and you find out ways of making things look different from other things. You know, this kind of forced perspective that goes on. It's kind of very interesting the way that companies do it. So just bring this across. Scale it outwards if you need to. Just scale it in. A little bit thinner. It's kind of an awkward angle. Press G, just move that in. Now it might take you a little while to do the sides here, because obviously it is curved. But it will give your photo, in the end, a real good sense of perspective. Just move that across. Move that across. Press G, bring it over, and then for these ones they seem all to be at the same angle anyway, so you can just put these up there. Shift D, bring it across. G, bring it forward. Okay, so once you've done this, just start adding the pillars back in. So I'll just go with this one. It's a little bit fiddly to get them around, but once you've got them in there, that's less work for you to do for the rest of the project. Just try and get them at the same angle as the edge of the pool, or at least as close to. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put another one at the edge just here, just to kind of finalise that building structure just a little bit. Okay, so I think that should be okay for the outside of the building just for the moment. So obviously we've got a lot of blue going on, we're going to have to put some shaders in here, and this roof, I kind of want to put some edging on it. I want to put a little bit of edging on it. So if we go to edit mode, go to regular mode as well. Oops. Select the roof first, then go to edit mode. Excuse me. What we're gonna do, I think we'll take off the X-ray mode here. We'll select all of these faces upon the inside. Because if I want to do an edge, border on the edge, there's no point in me putting stuff to the edge. I might as well take the bottom in and then change the rest of it to the border. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to go E for extrude, don't move it, and then scale inwards by the sideways, so like this. And then we're going to go E for extrude, bring it up, and then scale it inwards just slightly again. So then you've kind of got this little border going on. Now this, so the initial one, we should have its basin, the wood, so this will be wood, okay. So let's go for plus new. Try to figure out how to do this right, new, and then we'll go for black for this one. Press A to select everything, assign. Then we're going to go for the middle again. Just select everything here. And then we'll go for wood and then click assign. And then come back to your object mode. And this is how it should render. So now you've got this nice little border going around the outside. Now you can bring this down a little bit if you wanted to. But now you have this kind of little catch around the outside, so to speak. So if I just put it into the camera's perspective right here. We've kind of got this little bit coming down. So now what we could do, we could put tube lighting in here as well. So it kind of illuminates it a little bit better. So I don't like this angle. I don't know what that's doing. What is that doing? It seems to have curled over on itself. Right. Let's take all this. Scale it inwards. I think that should look better. That's an interesting one. Okay, let's press G, bring it down just a little bit. So you've got that border, but it's not quite as... I think it's the angle. I think that's what's knocking me off. It's the angle a little bit. It's the angle of the board. Okay, you know what, I'm going to work with it. I'm just going to see what happens. Alright, yeah. It's great, I'll work with it. I can always change things afterwards, so I'm just going to go Shift D. Now the angle on this should technically be the same as the other side, so if we just rotate this round to 180, we should, in theory, okay, maybe just rotate it around to the other side, so 180. It should, in theory, match up with this. If we can get it to work. Or at least close enough to work that it's not noticeable. Just going to rotate that one again. If you can hear that, that's my dog downstairs. Yeah, last time he came in the office, he was kind of jumping all over me and putting his ball on me and stuff like that. So I've kind of got this rule now, whilst I'm filming, the dog, unfortunately, is outside. Not that I want to do that, but because he was just distracting me quite a lot last time. And I think on the footage, I'm sure like people watching it, like you guys could see, I was playing with the dog more than I was doing this, and I was recording, and I just thought like it's not really fair on you guys, like, you know. I'm just gonna press 7 and just adjust this to where it needs to be on the X-ray mode. I just didn't feel that it was right for me to just be sat, you know, you wanted to be taught something, and I get it. He lives there as well, but sometimes just need to get stuff done. Unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. So now he's crying outside my door, like he just wants to be let in. I just want to finish this off before I do. Okay, so that should roughly be correct. I'm sure there's no intersecting vertices on there, but I'm going to bring it up as well, just to see what this looks like. Yeah, I think that needs to be a bit higher. Okay, put that one there, and then I think we'll just make some little adjustments. So press 7. Oops. Yeah, press 7. So you notice that you've got these little gaps right here. So take this, go to edit mode, and then we're just going to make some amendments just here and just here. So press G, bring it forward. You just want it to hug the kind of model. Oops, press G, bring that forward. 7. Okay, I think that should be okay. So what I'm going to do with this one is go into the shading mode, and we'll do some rocks and some stones on there just to kind of make it look a little bit more gravelly, a little bit more like dirt. So we're going to go new. We'll go to noise texture, color to base color, scale it upwards, and then we'll do color ramp. Just pull it down a little bit. So you've kind of got this deserty kind of look to it. So on this side, we're just going to put a little bit of black in. Oops, no, we don't want to add that. We're going to put a little bit of black just inside of there. We'll go to bump. Place this one here, height. And now we've kind of got this kind of gravelly dirt look to everything. Just going to make this a little bit brighter. But you do want that shade just a little bit, because you want to be able to so you want the darkness for the shade for the plants, but then you also want that kind of little shine, like it's wet a little bit around the water. So what you can do with this actually, take this noise, take this bump, Shift D, bring it down, connect your normal to your roughness, and this will give the roughness a little bit of a bump to it as well when it loads in. There you go. So now you can scale this one up, and you've got this kind of rough texture. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of rough texture on the roughness. Tab right there. You can also invert it as well if you'd like. So I think like the harder part of this is going to be putting these little boards just kind of along here. I mean, like, it's angling, that's all it is really. But we'll get to that point in due course. So if we just select some of these trees right here, and we just go Shift D, bring them over, just fill this gap in just a little bit, just bring them down. So there's like little trees and branches and stuff. You can shrink these if you want to. Just put them across the edge. Just make sure they don't clip the side of the actual basin itself, like these ones. That's okay because it kind of looks like it's fallen into the water, but this one, because the tree is literally in the concrete right there, I would strongly advise moving all this back. press Shift D. You could also do some leaves on the water if you wanted to, such as the you know, the trees kind of come to part. So if you just take the leaves right there, scale it down. Oops. I don't know why it's going upwards. That's a really weird thing. Yeah, you could kind of clip some leaves into the side, almost like there's something growing on the water, just on one side. Just as so it kind of just floats. So if we go to layout, we'll look at what we've done currently. So we have a lot of trees around here, we've got water, we've got, we should have some reflections on there. I should have, in theory, gone to the object tab, go to shading. You've got cast caustics and receive caustics, just click those on. And then you've also got for the roof here, cast caustics, receive caustics. So as long as the light is hitting at the correct angle, you should be getting some caustics up here. At the moment I'm not. For this one, I think that's a bit too blue. I know where it's blue. It's too reflective. So if we do ray depth, no, let's backtrack there a little bit. Let's go into shading. Let's put the roughness up. You just want to reduce your metallic. Your IOR, you could bring this down just slightly. So you kind of got this roughness going on. Maybe just introduce a little bit of shine. I'm just going to scale this up a little bit. So you got some more dirt. This barrier right here that you have, you can actually put this on the other side if you like. So you can press Shift D. Just move it across. Make the barrier a little bit bigger. So, as regards to the steps, what we're going to do, let's go back to layout mode. We're just going to make platforms, really. So, let's go to add. We'll go with a cube, scale it across, scale it down just a little bit. G, bring it up. Now you can do some texture on this, but I'm gonna do just kind of like plain, kind of board kind of look to them. So maybe just like that. And then from the base here, instead of having 3 objects, so instead of having 2 platforms underneath and then the platform on top, we could just make platforms from the objects. So we could do Control R for the middle, Control R for that side, Control R for the middle, Control R for this side, and then Control R for this side, and then these 2 squares right here can become part of the platform. So we just go E for extrude and just bring them down. So when we make this, we can then shrink it down. Press G, bring it in. So this is a point where we're going to have to pay attention to the height of where this is. So I'm just going to bring it to the front right here. And I think it's best if you shrink it down and then you work from 7 and then you work from the main view so you can see what you're seeing as well. What the audience would see in theory. So you want to make this just a little bit taller. Press G, bring it up. Down the water itself. Shrink this down. Actually, okay. I'm just trying to think how this is going to look. That looks okay, I think. Okay, so go 7 on this side. What you're going to want to do is put a boardwalk of boards going across here, and you just want to angle them into where they need to be. So this one right here, we could have an additional one at the side. So we'll just put this one right here. Shift D. Oh, come on. Why not Shift D? Shift D. That's really weird. Come on. Please tell me I'm not imagining this. I'm Shift D and it's not doing anything. What is it? Well, what did I do? Did I do something or is this a program error? Shift D. Or is it actually... So what? Oh, that's just... Yeah, this program's... There have been some changes made. Because that's not supposed to do that. Or at least on 4.3 it didn't do that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to work with this. See how this goes. Learning curve, I guess. Shift D. Move that across. Right, okay. That is so bizarre. Because it's like I can't see this object right here. It is there, but it's... Oh, that's gonna mess me up a little bit. Let's do one thing. If you guys have got the same problem I do and you can't see it, press G, move that to the side. Let's press 7, and let's go and start again. There we go. We can see everything. Right. So it's not me. It's just the X-ray is a little bit different on this program compared to the prior version. Press G. Shift D, move it across, rotate. G, move that down, Shift D, move that across, rotate. Don't have to be perfect, I don't think. I think it's just kind of an outdoorsy thing. Rotate that. Shift D, move it across. G to move it up. This might take you a while to do, but once you've got it all, it'll be worth it. Right, okay. Yeah. I think there's been some minor changes done to this program because like, I'm doing things that I'd usually do on 4.3 and it's just not working on this one. So yeah, for sure they've made some changes. I didn't actually think that I'd be saying that because like every other version of Blender doesn't really change that much. It's just like little tweaks here and there, but the handling on this has just completely changed. Let's see. I'm just trying to get these three boards together so you've kind of got some pattern going on with the boards. I don't want them all at odd angles. Yeah, those two. Press G. Yeah, G to move, R for rotate. Yeah, almost at the end, like, I'm kind of going quiet with the amount of concentration that I have for this project right now. So I'm just going to move these two down just slightly. And just rearrange these ones, because I think that maybe I went too far down with that one. Maybe rotate this one in just a little bit. Wow, there's a lot to do on this. I did not anticipate how much work this would be. Okay, so Shift D, let's move these ones across. Rotate. G, move down. Shift D this across. I'm gonna go again. Having that little bend in all of these is kind of real good, because I can just move things. Let's move that across just to there. And then I think we just need maybe 3 boards from this point on. Ah, we need another one. Just put into that position just there. Just to finish that up. Okay, so once you've got those all the way across, your scene should look something like this. Obviously we've not got the top on. And I kind of want to take all those boards and just squish them in and put them down a little bit, because I think it's taking up too much space. I'll be honest with you. Let's take every single one and shrink these down just a little bit. Oops, don't select the outside. You might have to do some adjusting if you've got to the point where I've got to, where they're just a little bit too big. So just scale them across this axis so they're like more in the middle, and then we'll press G and we'll just bring them down just slightly. Not so that the water's on top of them, but they just glide just above the water level. So now, instead of having all that around the edges, we now have this, which looks a lot better, I think. And then we've got these floating leaves here. I kind of like that some leaves got in there. So the next part we could do is put this roof back on. So we just shrink this down a little bit, take this, just bring it across G, bring that across so that it's just sat where it needs to be. I think I'm just going to pull it just a little bit further in, or maybe just a little bit further out actually. There we go. So that looks a lot better. So now we have this nice little setting with everything else. So now I'm going to put in some more trees and maybe make a fence in the background, some other little things, and then in here we could have kind of an enclosed room. So we could go with new, change this to black. Maybe a blue or something, just kind of a nice carpeted area. And then we can go to add. I think a plane would be best for this. Just rotate this by 90. Press G, bring it in. So what you want to do is just generally just make a room. That's it. So we're just going to go scale outwards. Doesn't have to be that big, but alas, mine is that big. Just make sure that it's tall enough to cover the building. Just here. And then we're going to go for, if we go to edit mode, E for extrude, of course it's a box, but just work with me on this one. We're going to get this face and this face kind of sit together, so this one. Press G, bring it in, put it here, across this pillar, and then we're going to go with this one. We're going to press G, bring it in, put it across to this pillar right here. Take this, press delete, delete faces. Take this corner right here where the camera can see, just press G, just elongate it so the camera's on the inside. And then this will be the inside of our little room. And then press this one, and press G, just bring it down to roof level. So it's kind of cheating, but it works. So now with this box we could actually go, let's go with black. Change this to black so it looks like all the lights are out. We kind of got this nice little holiday home going on. We could put some little lights going on in here so it just looks like a little corridor. So to do that we can do add. We can do then with cylinder. Rotate sideways at 90. Scale it outwards, scale in. Materials tab. We can go with emission. So when we put this inside, you should be able to see that something's glowing, which we can. So then we can press S, shrink that down just a little bit. Make this maybe a little bit yellow. And we could bring this up. So now what we can do, I mean you could do anything on the inside of there if you wanted to. We could do Shift D, make that corridor look a little bit longer. Shift D, make the corridor a little bit more lighter on that side. So I'm just doing the outside at the moment, but the inside, I mean, you could spend a couple of hours just making some stuff for this. Make some doorways, make whatever you need. I'm just going to turn these lights down a little bit so it doesn't distract from the outside. These windows also should have some light coming in them, so I would mess around with the IOR just to pull that a little bit right there. Or you could put these windows as principle BSDF, metallic up, roughness down, and then you can go alpha and pull these back just a little bit. And what you'll notice is there's little bits of light on the inside right here. The second thing that you could do, take your main light. You can increase the strength a little bit to make it look like a real sunny day. And you see that the caustics that we've put on for the water and we've put on for the ceiling right here actually change the kind of light immersion, if you want, for that. So the background, personally, I would say you could put some houses on there if you wanted to. You could put some trees, you could do a lot of different things with that. You could also edit the depth of field to make this look more realistic. So we could go to camera right here, depth of field, and just use this little dropper tool and just select, say, a board in the middle there. F-stop, if you bring it all the way down, it blurs the outside, blurs the background except from this board right here. So if you just tune this up just a little bit, you'll get a little bit of foreground blur, and you get a little bit of background blur, depending on what you want. So we're going to go ahead and put some trees in the back here. We could put some of these bushes just in the back too. So let's take a couple of these. Shift D. Rotate to where you need to rotate them to, and then you can scale them up. And now you have this kind of little background of trees going on. You can put some buildings in the background and stuff. Have another plane, make some grass. For this part, I think... So this could be like a little nature garden, I guess. My computer's getting pretty slow. I'm just going to put this one right here. So it kind of fills in the background at the back. You could edit some of these plants to have a different colour leaf as well. You can make them a little bit darker if you wanted to, a little bit lighter, a bit more orange, if that's what you're going for. Maybe a drier climate. That looks so cool. Let's see, I might put up actually some cubes. Let's make some boards in the background. G, bring those over. So what you want to do, you can make cities if you wanted to in the background. Just little blocks. Make some depth right there, so G, bring that up. Change this to brown material for the wood. Just go Shift D, bring this across. Select them both. Shift D, bring this across. And select all four. So you can have this nice little edging fence around the land. Maybe this person's got 6-foot fences and they like their privacy. Take all these. Just gonna press G, bring it across just slightly, and then I'm gonna press Shift D, bring it this way. So now I've kind of got this nice little picket fence right at the back, so it's giving it a little bit more depth. So the inside of the building, as I said, you guys can edit that one. To be honest with you, I would put a little bit of grass here. So if you wanted to do that, add plane. You just want it to sit. You can add plane, or you could change the textures that you've already done. Let me just try and experiment here a little bit. Just bring this back, scale this out just a little bit. So grass is essentially the same as hair. Ironically, in CG, it's the way that it is. Like, I spoke to one of my friends about this, and I said, you know, grass is hair in CG, and he's like, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, it's literally what it says on the tin. It's the exact same concept, so to speak. The particles are the exact same. Right, let's go with new particles. Instead of emitter, you want hair. I kid you not, this is how we're doing this. This is the grass. Looks kind of artistic, that, doesn't it? It's like a stay away grass. We're gonna lower the meters on the grass, or the hair length even, so that it's relatively grass sized. And then we'll go up here and we'll add a couple more zeros to this. And that's kind of like some basic grass going on. You can also see that we've got mud underneath it, so it's going to look pretty cool. Go into your materials tab, go new, and then make this a nice lush green grass, or however you'd like to make it. I think I actually might move the camera angle, to be honest with you, because I think like I'm working more on the garden at the minute. I think that's what I should have as my thumbnail. So we go to there. I have to improve that picket fence at the back a little bit. So take some of those and just put those at the back. As so. And I think, oh, also, if you're doing grass with hair, you do this thing where you go object mode, particle edit. This is a cool part. And you can just kind of adjust the hair to where you want it to be. You can make bald patches if you wanted to. I think I came in a little bit too strong there. But yeah, you can, instead of everything standing straight up, because if you notice that the floor itself is just above where all the hair is. So you can come here, you can make this a little bit wavy. And then when you render it in and you go back to object mode, which I've neglected to do, you should have some nice little particles of wavy grass. If you don't like the brown in between, you can actually change that. Put some more grass on there, or you could shrink it in just slightly. Got G, move this across. See how you've got a lot more detail with the grass right there? So, because this is just sat just below where the mud part is, you could also press G and just grow the grass a little bit. Pull it up. Oops. So now you've got some longer grass. If that's what you wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and move this to the side because it's kind of interacting with the water. So I'm just going to press G and go that way. So now we have this lovely lawn, some nice bushes. And we've got a nice little water feature going on. I think, again, I might just move this, just slightly. So yeah, that's kind of the little garden tutorial in a way. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, if you guys are interested and you want to make the sky kind of like with clouds and stuff, I just thought I'd add this one in just at the end. I forgot to do something. So go to your shading tab, go to world settings, and then we're going to go to noise. Noise texture, color to color. Oh, excuse me. If you're on rendered version, you'll see this. Oh, excuse me. So what you want to do is add a color ramp. Right at the back here. Go plus and go with blue. You got blue sky. Make some little clouds going on. Just go to the viewpoint of your camera. Just bring that white up just a little bit and then scale it up or down, depending on your preference. If you scale up, it's kind of little bits. If you scale down, it's just like iridescent clouds, I guess, such as that. You could also take some more trees at the back if you wanted to. Just kind of border the border, so to speak. So you take this one, Shift D, duplicate that, scale it up, let me just take this version off. I'll show you guys what I mean. So we could do, it's like a giant tree. So you don't even need to put them on like the correct plane or whatever, just kind of little trees dotted about in the background. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys like this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.